If your hydrangeas look healthy, but refuse to bloom, or only produce a few weak flowers, there's a good chance you're making one of these mistakes without even realizing it. And the frustrating part is, most of these mistakes are small. They don't look obvious. Your plant isn't dying, it's just quietly failing to do what it's supposed to do. And over time, that leads to fewer blooms, dull colors, and a garden that never quite looks the way you imagined. But once you understand what's really going wrong, the fix is often surprisingly simple. In this video, you'll discover 7 costly hydrangea mistakes that could be stopping your flowers, and more importantly, why they matter. You'll learn how to correct them using simple, low-effort adjustments that make a huge difference. By the end, you'll know exactly how to turn your hydrangeas into full, vibrant, blooming plants that come back stronger year after year, without constant guesswork or stress. Hydrangeas are often seen as easy plants. You plant them, water them, and expect beautiful blooms. But many gardeners end up confused when they don't perform. You might feel like you're doing everything right, and still not getting results. That's because hydrangeas are sensitive to a few key factors. And once those are slightly off, the plant stops blooming. The good news is, you don't need complicated techniques. You just need to understand what your plant actually needs. And make sure you stay until the end, because one of these mistakes is the reason many hydrangeas never bloom again after pruning, and most people don't realize they've done it until it's too late. Let's start with the most overlooked issue. Plant placement. This is where many problems begin. Hydrangeas are very particular about light. Too much sun, and the leaves burn, the flowers fade quickly, and the plant becomes stressed. Too much shade, and you get lots of green leaves, but very few blooms. The reason this happens is simple. Sunlight controls energy. Without enough light, the plant focuses on survival instead of flowering. With too much, it loses moisture faster than it can recover. The ideal balance is morning sun and afternoon shade. Imagine your hydrangea receiving gentle sunlight early in the day, then resting in cooler shade during the hottest hours. That's when it performs best. If your plant is struggling, try moving it or providing shade during peak sunlight. Even a small adjustment can completely change how it blooms. Now here's another mistake that seems harmless, but makes a big difference. Watering the wrong way. Most people either water too often, or not deeply enough. Hydrangeas love moisture. But they don't like constantly wet soil. The reason is in the roots. Shallow watering only wets the surface, which encourages weak root growth. Overwatering, on the other hand, suffocates roots and leads to rot. What hydrangeas need is deep, consistent watering. This allows the roots to grow stronger and reach deeper into the soil. Picture a plant that stays hydrated even during warm days because its roots are well established. To fix this, water deeply a few times a week instead of lightly every day. Let the top layer of soil dry slightly between watering. Now let's talk about the mistake that ruins entire seasons. Pruning at the wrong time. This is where many gardeners unknowingly remove their future flowers. Some hydrangeas bloom on what's called old wood, meaning the buds for next year's flowers form long before the blooming season. So when you prune at the wrong time, you're not just trimming the plant, you're cutting off next year's blooms. That's why a healthy-looking plant can suddenly stop flowering. The key is knowing your hydrangea type. If it blooms on old wood, prune only after flowering. If it blooms on new wood, you have more flexibility. A simple check before pruning can save an entire year of growth. Now, the next mistake is one most people never connect to flower quality, but it can completely change the color and strength of your blooms. Soil pH. This is something many gardeners ignore, but it plays a powerful role. Hydrangeas respond directly to the acidity or alkalinity of the soil. In slightly acidic soil, you often get richer, more vibrant blooms. In more alkaline soil, the colors shift and sometimes weaken. But it's not just about color. The reason pH matters is because it affects how nutrients are absorbed. If the soil is out of balance, the plant struggles to take in what it needs. That leads to weaker growth and fewer flowers. Imagine your hydrangea producing deeper colors and fuller blooms simply because the soil is balanced. You can test your soil and adjust it gradually using simple amendments. Now here's a mistake that seems helpful, but backfires. Over-fertilizing. It feels logical. More nutrients should mean more growth, right? But with hydrangeas, too much fertilizer, especially nitrogen, leads to lots of leaves and very few flowers. The plant focuses on growing bigger instead of blooming. That's why some hydrangeas look lush but never flower. The solution is simple. Use a balanced fertilizer, and don't overdo it. Think of it as gentle support, not constant feeding. At this point, it's worth pausing for a moment, because many of these mistakes overlap. For example, overwatering combined with poor drainage can damage roots quickly. Too much shade combined with over-fertilizing leads to leafy plants with no flowers. And pruning at the wrong time, combined with frost exposure, can wipe out blooms completely. The key is not just fixing one thing, but understanding how they work together. Now let's talk about something many people underestimate. Weather protection. Hydrangeas are sensitive to extreme conditions. Late frost can kill developing buds before they even open. Strong sun and wind can dry out the plant and damage flowers. The reason is simple. Hydrangeas hold a lot of moisture in their leaves and blooms. That makes them more vulnerable to sudden changes. But a little protection goes a long way. Mulching around the base helps regulate temperature. Placing your plant in a sheltered spot reduces stress. Think of it as creating a stable environment where your plant can thrive. Now here's another hidden issue. Poor drainage. This one is easy to miss because it happens below the surface. Hydrangeas don't like sitting in waterlogged soil. When roots stay too wet, they can't breathe. And over time, they begin to rot. That leads to weak growth, yellowing leaves, and fewer blooms. The solution is improving drainage. This can mean adjusting the soil, raising the planting area, or simply avoiding overwatering. Imagine your plant growing in soil that stays moist but never soggy. That's the ideal balance. Now before we move to the final tip, there's one simple step that ties everything together. Mulching. This might seem basic, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do. Mulch acts like a protective layer for your soil. It keeps moisture consistent, reduces temperature swings, and slowly improves soil quality. The reason it works so well is because it stabilizes the environment around your plant. Instead of constant ups and downs, your hydrangea experiences steady conditions. And that's exactly what it needs to produce strong, reliable blooms. Picture a garden where the soil stays cool, moist, and rich, and your hydrangeas respond with bigger, brighter flowers every season. Apply a layer of organic mulch around the base of your plant, keeping it slightly away from the stems. It's a small step that delivers long-term results. Once you correct these small mistakes, everything changes. Your hydrangeas stop struggling and start thriving. You'll see stronger growth, healthier leaves, and most importantly, consistent, beautiful blooms. And the best part is, it doesn't require more effort. Just better understanding. That's what stress-free gardening is really about. Not doing more, but doing the right things at the right time. If you found this helpful and want more simple ways to grow a beautiful garden without the stress, make sure you subscribe to Stress-Free Garden Living. Because here, we focus on helping you grow more with less effort, so your garden becomes something you enjoy, not something you constantly work on. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these mistakes do you think might be affecting your hydrangeas? Or what's the biggest challenge you're facing in your garden right now? Let me know in the comments. I read every one, and your question might inspire the next video. And remember, beautiful gardens aren't complicated. They are just well understood. Herb.